Adriel, December 15, 2009. Greeting to all. I am pleased to present this material to you, in conjunction with Mark Kimmel, who has supplied some of the details in the following, as well as formatting the message. I do embrace the final wording of this joint project. Disclosure of the reality of beings from the planets of other star systems will soon take place. It is but the top of a very slippery slope, for if you are open, you will discover many, many facets of a much larger truth. Some of the following material may seem familiar. Some of it will be new. Our intention here is to touch on the major facets of the larger truth in the hope that you will search out additional details for yourself and verify our words. Furthermore, it is our intention that having digested these truths you will realize that your freedom from their domination can only be achieved in ways not proscribed within a third dimension box. In addition, those of you who are conversant with this subject will be called upon to explain all to the awakening ones among you. The truth is far beyond governments explaining away UFOs as swamp gas or weather balloons. The truth is far beyond the possibility that there are planets elsewhere in the universe and that sentient beings might exist on them. It is not so much that there are beings on other planets, which is easy to comprehend intellectually. The truth is much larger than ET starships materializing in Earth's atmosphere, and much more confrontational. The truth is that there are beings walking this planet alongside what you recognize as your fellow Earth humans. The truth is that these entities have been involved, and continue to be involved in your lives. So let us begin this journey of discovery. First are the secret operations within most governments of this planet that conceal a working relationship with entities not indigenous to this planet. These relationships are generally known only to a select few in the military and intelligence services. In some countries, these relationships can also be found within corporations and other non-governmental institutions. By indigenous, we mean the humans who were originally brought here several 100,000 years ago as a part of the Star Seed Project, the ancestors of Earth's four races, and who comprise 99% of the population. Those characterized as not indigenous or aliens arrived somewhat later. The arrival of the alien races has been described in other messages published at this site and in other readily available sources. There have been many off-planet races who came and modified the original human stock, but this is the easy part of disclosure. This is history. The more difficult part is the reality of the current presence of non-indigenous races and the complicity of governments cooperating with them in ways adversarial to the good of the 99% majority. For at the heart of all that is wrong with Earth and her human population is meddling by certain extraterrestrial races that have infected the institutions and beliefs of mankind. This too was presented in earlier communications. In modern times, an example of intimate cooperation between a government and an alien race took place in Germany during the time of Adolf Hitler. As a technologically developed nation, and one that sought to develop technology for aggressive purposes, Germany was the ideal candidate for compromise by a race of alien entities. Agreements were made to trade technology for human experimentation. It resulted in the development of rockets and other advanced propulsion systems. It also resulted in atrocities against Earth humans. When German scientists came to the United States with Project Paperclip, the Nazi philosophy and a connection to aliens was infused into the U.S. It remains to this day. In the 1950s, there was an agreement between the government of the United States and a race of aliens who wished to experiment on human subjects. They traded technology for the right to perform biological experiments on ordinary humans with an aim of improving their own biology. These experiments are at the root of the missing children and abduction phenomenon. Another aspect of disclosure is the infection of institutions created by mankind. This began many thousands of years ago with religions set up to worship those who had descended from the skies. Most of our current religions are rooted in these ancient beliefs. These infections of mankind's institutions are dependent on the ability of the outsiders to shift into human form. For many thousands of years this has been a hidden aspect of life on this planet. Humans who achieve some measure of wealth or prominence are likely to be displaced by a shapeshifter who appears to be the same human but who soon begins to act in ways unlike an indigenous human. Most likely this is due to a lack of emotions and morals in aliens. If you look closely, you can see this operating in politics, corporations, banking, religions, sports, and the media. This is the principal means of human bondage. This ugly truth will eventually surface as part of any truly transparent disclosure project. The technology received from alien races, plus the billions of dollars spent on their development, have now resulted in secret military bases on the Moon and on Mars. Alien technology is at the heart of projects such as HARP, that seek to control human behavior by broadcasting frequencies to induce fear, as well as creating aerial phenomenon such as recently seen in Norway. Other mind control techniques are regularly practiced on human subjects to compromise those in power and to create instruments of death. The whole subject of September 11, 2001 is riddled with hidden truths surrounding the events of that day. The truths behind those events will eventually surface and will undoubtedly show that they are not as publicized in the popular media, nor are they a valid basis for war, torture, or national policy. Unveilings like this will show the complicity of the media and religions in your enslavement. Similarly, the chemtrails that cloud the skies are not some sort of benevolent attempt to slow global warming. Rather, they are filled with heavy metals and biological agents that have now infected all Earth's humans. These biological agents, used in conjunction with vaccines, are designed to increase fatalities from otherwise mild diseases. So the slippery slope is indeed quite slick, for once you open yourself to all of these possibilities, and investigate them to satisfy yourself of their likely truth, you can never go back to seeing your earthly existence from a conventional point of view. Of more recent vintage are beings who have come to this planet in human form, but who are advocates of the welfare of indigenous humans and the ascension process. For if those who operate in their own self-interests are here, and are in control of the planet, then humans will not lift their enslavement by themselves. Humans require the assistance of outsiders. They are here in large numbers to do that very thing. They are here as those who incarnated with this mission as part of their soul contracts. They are here as walk-ins who have come as replacements for original souls, and they are here as benign shape-shifters. There are over 1 million of these beings actively promoting the welfare of humanity at this moment. They are working in education and other institutions to awaken us to new ways of seeing and behaving. The most important truth about these more recent additions to our planet, and their associates in the vast armada overhead, is that they are unequivocally dedicated to our advancement and to Earth's ascension, all within the framework of oneness with God. The slippery slope immediately comes into play when the subject of disclosure is broached. For when one of the facets of disclosure is revealed, say the presence of the armada of ships surrounding Earth, this will eventually open the gates to full disclosure of the role of the non-indigenous beings among us. This will in turn show the control by aliens of our governments, banks, corporations, religions, and media. Then ordinary people will at last understand the extent of their enslavement. Then there will be chaos. It is from this chaos that the new Earth will emerge. The main point that we would like to make is that you need to be aware of these truths. As disclosure of beings from other star systems is unveiled, see the mechanisms of your enslavement, knowing that the time is now for the removal of all of these methods of enslaving you. Look upon your current situation, not as hopeless, but rather as one that cannot be fixed using the tools of the third dimension. Only by embracing the higher vibrations of advancement will you remove yourselves from the morass of the enslavement. This material is being presented at this time because very soon there will be the first glimmer of disclosure. Do not let disclosure stop at the mere acknowledgement of UFOs. There is much more to the story. The truth is much more involved than some will wish to acknowledge. Do not allow earthly authorities to whitewash the truth and their complicity in your enslavement. I am Adriel, a celestial of this universe who is here to assist the humans of Earth as they embrace their transitions to higher frequencies. Thank you, Adriel.